January 24, 1961. The Cold War is at its peak. Tensions between the United States and the Soviet Union are stretched to a breaking point. High above the Atlantic, a B-52 Stratofortress bomber, call sign Keep 19, is on a routine airborne alert mission. Aboard are 8 crew members and a payload unlike any other, to mark 39 thermonuclear bombs. Each bomb carries a yield of nearly 4 megatons, that's about 250 times more powerful than the bomb dropped on Hiroshima. Their mission is simple: stay in the air, ready to retaliate at a moment's notice should the unthinkable happen. But on this night, the unthinkable is about to happen in a way no one could have predicted. The flight began like any other. Part of Operation Chrome Dome, these B-52s were a crucial component of America's nuclear deterrent. They flew continuous routes near the Soviet border, ensuring that even if a surprise attack wiped out ground bases, the U.S. could still deliver a devastating counterstrike. For the crew of Keep 19, this was just another long, cold night in the sky. As they prepared to rendezvous with a tanker for aerial refueling off the coast of North Carolina, a sudden, violent jolt shook the entire aircraft. The pilot, Major Walter Scott Tulloch, felt the controls go heavy. He looked out the window and saw the problem. Fuel was gushing from the right wing. A massive, catastrophic fuel leak had begun. Within minutes, the situation deteriorated rapidly. The B-52 was losing thousands of pounds of fuel per minute, making it dangerously unstable. Major Tulloch knew he couldn't make it back to Seymour Johnson Air Force Base in Goldsboro. The plane was falling apart in midair. He made the difficult decision: abandon the aircraft. Over the intercom, he gave the order to bail out. One by one, the crew members ejected into the freezing night sky, leaving the massive bomber to its fate. But as the crew descended towards the dark North Carolina countryside, the plane began its final, terrifying plunge. The violent breakup of the B-52 triggered the automatic release sequence for its nuclear payload. 2 hydrogen bombs, each capable of leveling a major city, were now falling from the sky. One of the bombs deployed its parachute as designed. It floated down gently and landed, its nose buried in the soft, muddy ground of a tobacco field near the town of Faro. It was intact, but what it represented was chilling. This was a live, multi-megaton nuclear weapon lying in a farmer's field. The second bomb, however, did not have a successful descent. Its parachute failed to deploy. It plummeted to the earth at an estimated 700 miles per hour, slamming into a swampy meadow and disintegrating on impact. The impact was so violent that the bomb shattered into countless pieces, burying itself deep in the mud. For the first responders on the ground, the scene was one of chaos and confusion. They were searching for survivors from a plane crash, unaware that they were walking through the debris field of 2 of the most powerful weapons ever created by humanity. The military quickly swarmed the area, establishing a perimeter and beginning a top-secret recovery operation. The first bomb, the one that landed with its parachute, was relatively easy to locate and secure. A team from the Explosive Ordnance Disposal Unit was sent into disarmament. What they discovered sent a shockwave of fear through the highest levels of the U.S. government. They began analyzing the bomb's safety mechanisms, the switches designed to prevent an accidental detonation. There were a total of 6 arming steps required for the bomb to go off. Step 1. The pilot must arm the bomb in the cockpit. Step 2. Lanyards are pulled as the bomb is dropped, releasing the arming pins. Step 3. The barometric switch senses the fall. Step 4. A timer engages. Step 5. The parachute deploys, which activates another switch. And finally, Step 6. The firing signal is sent upon impact. As the Yale team carefully examined the bomb recovered from the field, they made a bone-chilling discovery. Of the 6 safety mechanisms, 5 had been activated by the plane's breakup and the subsequent fall. The jolt of the plane breaking apart, the altitude drop, the parachute deployment, the bomb had interpreted all of these events as a deliberate launch sequence. It had gone through nearly its entire arming process. It was live. It was ready. It was one single, simple switch away from detonating. A low-voltage switch, known as the safe arm switch, was the only thing that had prevented a nuclear explosion that would have dwarfed Hiroshima and Nagasaki combined. It was the last line of defense. The fail-safe. And when they examined it, they found it in the safe position. Catastrophe had been averted by the slimmest of margins. But what about the second bomb? The one that had disintegrated in the swamp. The recovery effort was a nightmare. The bomb had shattered on impact, and its components were scattered and buried deep in the waterlogged soil. The military brought in massive excavation equipment, trying to dig out the core of the weapon, the highly enriched uranium and plutonium pit, the very heart of the bomb. They dug and they pumped, pulling up pieces of the bomb's casing, its wiring, and its trigger mechanism. But the core, the most crucial and dangerous part, remained elusive. After weeks of tireless searching in the freezing, muddy water, the military made a difficult decision. They determined that the secondary stage, containing the uranium, was buried so deep, perhaps over 100 feet, that it was effectively unrecoverable. They bought the land, fenced it off, and left it there. To this day, a significant portion of a hydrogen bomb remains buried under a field in North Carolina. The full story was kept secret for decades. The American public had no idea how close they had come to an unparalleled disaster. It wasn't until a Freedom of Information Act request in 2013 that a declassified document, written by Parker F. Jones, a supervisor of nuclear safety at Sandia National Laboratories, brought the terrifying details to light. Jones's report was stark. He analyzed the incident and concluded that the United States had come frighteningly close to a disaster of the first magnitude. So what was that final, single point of failure that saved millions of lives? What was the one tiny component that stood between the east coast of the United States and a radioactive wasteland? It all came down to a simple, low-voltage switch. A dynamo technology switch, reliant on the spinning of a small turbine as the bomb fell through the air to generate the tiny electrical charge needed to close the final circuit. This switch was the ultimate failsafe. It could only be armed by the pilot from within the cockpit before takeoff. For a routine airborne alert mission like Operation Chrome Dome, where the goal was to be ready but not to attack, standard procedure dictated that this final switch remain in the safe position. The crew of Keep 19 followed their orders. Before taking off, they had left that one switch unarmed. Had the plane been on an actual attack run, that switch would have been flipped. Had procedure been different, had the pilot made a mistake, had any number of things gone slightly differently, that final circuit would have closed. The detonation would have been instantaneous. The fallout, carried by the prevailing winds, would have blanketed Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Philadelphia, and New York City, poisoning the most densely populated corridor in the United States. The death toll would have been in the tens of millions. The political and environmental consequences are simply unimaginable. It was a single switch, no bigger than a thumbnail, set to safe instead of arm, that prevented the unthinkable. One switch, one crew following procedure, one moment of luck in a cascade of failures. The Goldsboro incident stands as a chilling reminder of how close we came to the brink during the Cold War, and how fragile the systems we build to protect ourselves can truly be, a silent testament, buried in a North Carolina field, to a disaster that almost happened. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as incredible as we did, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into forgotten history.